We have some destroyers to design, but first, let's discuss the diplomatic narrative unfolding around this series, particularly for the benefit of the newer players watching who want to make sure they understand their options, because I've been reminded of some things that I think are worth discussing for the sake of the new players. Hey there, Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Federations in our Final Federation 2 series. So, why pause and discuss at the beginning of this episode? New players, listen up. So this is Nats. This is the homeworld of the Natsa Authority, which, as you recall, have taken control of the Myric system. Now, I was very frustrated when I saw this. I'm not thrilled with being boxed in quite this profoundly. Now, granted, we are boxed in by a friendly empire to the north, and they could be a friendly empire to the south, but my snap judgment that I made when this happened was to say, well, let me use my other envoy, because I would like to experiment with the diplomatic functions that we now have. We're improving relationships up here, or our relations up here, and it's been helping. And we're going to harm relations down here. And then maybe they'll declare war on me, which will then allow me, because of my current war stance, defensive wars, I can only make claims when I'm in defensive wars. So they would have to declare on me in order for me to get that system. However, new players, there is something that I forgot, and this is one of the hazards of covering Stellaris content on YouTube, is that Paradox, it's not just Stellaris. Paradox games in general have a tendency to change and evolve profoundly after they are released, and lots of things get added, and sometimes you just forget that things exist. For instance, yeah, that's been in there for at least an expansion or two at this point, and I had simply forgotten. Even in my offline play, you can now transfer ownership of systems between empires. Had I remembered that, I probably would have gone in a different direction initially with the Natsa Authority. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take the envoy that's currently working with the Natsa Authority to harm their relationship toward us, and we're going to change this. I really went back and forth a good bit on whether or not to reverse this decision. But it wasn't really a diplomatic decision that was in keeping with the narrative of the series, and I only did it because I felt that I had to do a certain thing, that it was my best option. Now that I know there's an alternative, and I've been reminded, I want to pursue that. And I also wanted to take this opportunity to show you guys that you could, in fact, do this. So we're going to now start improving our relations with them. And I'm going to take this construction ship and send them to Izar to at least lock in the Natsa as quickly as we can. So they're going to take care of that construction and hopefully be done with it relatively soon. And let's see where other construction ships are, just out of curiosity. We have one in Withir. We also have these unidentified vessels down here. Tell you what, let's go and design our destroyers, because we need to do that. We have our Manila-class destroyers. I think I'll keep the name Manila. That's fine. Now, do I want a gunship bow, picket ship, or artillery? We'll go with the gunship for now. Interceptor class or gunship class. So we have two small weapons on the front, and the medium big gun, whereas we could change it to just have two big guns in addition to the two small weapons. If I'm not mistaken, hang on, let's look at the damage on these. Yeah, this is roughly equivalent to having... No, it's slightly better. Okay, well, we're going to have a gunship. I was going to see if, having a medium-sized weapon is the same as just having two, but it's actually slightly better, which is what you would expect, really, if you wanted there to be slight differences, and you didn't just want it to be a question of multiplication. So let's go with the line combat computer. Now, what's the range on these? 75. So this means that they will stick back to 50 and fire from there. All right, so then I want to have lasers that fire a little bit closer range to help defend the ship. All right, so this is the Manila class. Yes, I want to overwrite. And then let's design a few more. I think what I want to do in order for these ships to be able to defend themselves, I would like there to be a design. We're not going to have a ton of these in each fleet. Let's have sentinel point defense there and flak in the back. And we'll have mass drivers, well, maybe one of each. Have a mass driver in the back and a laser up front. How about that? These are just going to sit back. I'm not going to put, these are picket ships, but I'm not going to use the picket computer. I'm going to use the line computer. And I want to have them sit back with the other destroyers. And by the way, this isn't necessarily a proven combat strategy. I'm just demonstrating how you can change the computers on your ships to make your combat AI in Stellaris think a little bit differently. And we'll see how that works. We'll experiment a little bit. So we have Hartman. And by the way, you can check the comment section if you want to see opinions, because there will be opinions about whether or not that's going to work well. But I'm playing around a little bit with the designs. We have that right now, and that's really the other options we have. We can do an artillery class destroyer. I guess I can go ahead and design one. I don't know how soon I'm going to build one. Oh, I didn't give this one a name. Hold on. Yeah. Manchester works for me. And then, yeah, let's do an artillery class destroyer too. And we can have an interceptor class rear. We'll have a couple of lasers. Now, do I want to make it artillery class, or do I want to have it also be a line ship? Yeah, let's have it be a line ship as well. So it'll be at slightly closer range, but it won't close to skirmishing range, so to speak, which is what Picket is all about. And then, of course, there's the swarm computer for corvettes. All right, this is going to be the... Actually kind of liked Munster. There's a bit of a trend. Seoul class. Orlando class. Ooh, Hanover class. I like that. Lots of variety in terms of culture. Vilnius class. Bucharest. Interesting set of names here. These are mainly cities. Actually, I like that. Let's go with Grenoble. Okay, so that is one heck of an interesting approach. And also, we haven't done too much with our defensive platforms yet. Let's take a moment and look at this. We have our Pembroke-class defense platform, but we could potentially need more than that. So let's see. Pembroke-class is what? It's a light defense platform. So, first of all, let's design a point defense class. I'm looking at where the slots are. I like there to be some symmetry. They're not always in order, depending on which ship set you're playing as. But it's easily fixed. All right, so this is our new defense platform. And yeah, we'll go with Victoria class for that. And then finally, let's design one more defense platform. This will be a missile class, excuse me. Missile-based, if you want to call it that. The class name we'll figure out in just a moment. Let's see. Cunningham. Brooklyn. Oh, yeah. Let's go with Brooklyn. It's a good, strong name for a missile platform. Okay, so we are now improving our relations with the NASA Authority. That era won't change until the next month goes by. But hopefully we'll be able to use our construction ship to lock in Izar, Real Samat, and then because our territory, our new sector out here, that's going to be kind of disjointed from our territory here, we will be able to access it, though. Because we'll be able to access it through the Rock territory, that gives us even more reason to federate with them, stay on good terms with them, and hope for the best. So either decision, I know I just reversed course a little bit, but either one would have resulted in a very, and could result in a very challenging situation. If relations with this empire were to go south, or if I were to end up in a war with these guys, it could be challenging. I mean, either one. So that's why I'm kind of okay with switching things up a little bit before we go too much deeper into the series. I think it's the right call to make. And again, I really went back and forth on whether or not I was going to do that. Now, we currently have Robert Stiles looking into this archaeological site. I think I also would like to change things up just slightly. We're going to have you go on passive stance so that you can travel back through. We're going to have Augusta Flores come finish this excavation site. And Robert Stiles is going to go on auto explore. So Augusta Flores is going to come here and excavate that. Because I'm just not sure whether or not my scientist is going to be able to survive what happens at the end of the archaeological site. All right, we just had a rivalry declared. The lock-in mechanists have decided they don't like me. All right, let's go ahead and declare that rivalry. That will help us gain some additional influence per month, so it's not the worst thing. Construction ship on its way through Mirek. Let's see how well that change helped. Okay, good. We're already seeing an improvement in our relations with them. We could also send them some stuff to make them further like us, but let's just keep things on a positive trend for now. Olympia is almost done being colonized. It'll be done on April 1st, less than a month. April Fool's Day, but it is a real colony. Let's see. I want to keep an eye on this science ship as they travel through Natsa territory.
A new world has been colonized.
Okay, let's go ahead and form a sector. And then our governor for this sector will be... Ooh. Okay, so there's a research bonus governor. There's a bureaucrat governor. I like the idea of a research bonus governor the most, but there's only one colony in here. That's fine for now. It's not going to help us too much. One thing we could do is switch governors. The current sector governor of Seoul is reducing crime. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. You're going to be our governor there. And then the Olympia sector will have our experienced governor take over. Now we've finished our research into stellar expansion, which is quite good. Hostile fleets present. Yes, I know. We've got these guys here. Another thing I would like to do, and I might have this ship do this. I've already set you to passive so you can travel through. It turns out, and I appreciate the commenter who pointed this out, it turns out that you can research the tree. Tell you what, let's go ahead and Control-Shift-Click that. So you're going to do that on the way. You can research the tree without pissing off the protectors. I always just assumed that because these are hostile, that you don't have any way of getting around them. But it turns out if you set your fleets to passive and don't do anything aggressive, I guess, around the tree, I'm not sure what makes them angry. I always just assumed they would defend the tree. Maybe they used to and they changed it. I don't know. But we can go in and do that research project that popped up. That's why I wasn't doing that, because I assumed I'd have to beat these guys first. Starbase capacity +2. Let's see. That's good. So that shortage is no longer a problem. Now, remember last episode we finished eco-integration study, so now we have some progress towards that, which is a 5% habitability boost. We also have the option now to research interstellar fleet traditions, which gives us the Fleet Academy in the Naval Logistics Office. I'm going to go for that, because I would like the ability to start building up my Navy as soon as possible. Okay, it looks like we did get to the Izar system, which is great news. If I could also take Turek, that would be ideal. This is going to eat my influence up a little bit, but I will live with it. Communications established. We are receiving a transmission from the Zitran... Oh, two, okay. From the Zitran Concern. They appear to have successfully translated our language. Diplomatic channels are now open, and all hostilities between us have ceased for the moment. A megacorp. Peaceful traders, though. They're egalitarian and fanatic xenophiles, so they're heavily aligned with us, and it looks like they're immediately north of the Rock. Hey, we've got a federation coming together, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings. I speak for Chief Executive Officer Frelixzad, and the wealthy elite of the Ziran Concern. We are always looking for new trading partners among the many diverse and delightful alien nations we encounter as our ships explore the galaxy. We could learn much from each other, Zirans. Okay. Interesting name here. We are receiving a transmission from the lethal instrument Panaxala Planets. Right. They appear to have successfully translated our language. Diplomatic channels are now open. Well met, aliens, so they're spiritual seekers. They're also xenophile. I represent the lethal instrument Panaxala Planets. Led by the illustrious Archprophet Flower of Yggdrasil I, we rule our region of space under a divine mandate, and so long as you do not interfere in our spiritual affairs, we look forward to learning more about your culture. we greet you as equals, Star Travelers. So we're not spiritualist, but
System
those guys are up there.
concluded.
And they could have an influence on the way things play out. We'll see. All right, so I will tell you, the NASA are not going to like what I'm doing. Our relationship with them could start deteriorating again regardless, but I want to try to lock down this territory while I can. We'll have a separate sector, but at least that way we might be able to gain some of these systems. And once we have this starbase done, it won't be as expensive to expand in this direction. So I'm going to expand pretty rapidly.
Construction completed.
Because we've got the influence to do it. Yeah, see how much cheaper it is? Okay, let's set you to passive. I want to have you come up here and build those stations. Oh, we've got some options building-wise here. All right, so on Earth, it looks like we have some amenities issues, but not really any housing issues. 2 administrative offices, research offices, already built an Autoton monument. Why don't I go ahead and build a gene clinic? That'll help with the amenities problem. And then on Atlantis, how are we doing admin cap-wise? Not too good. This is already a bureaucratic center, excuse me. So a second admin office, I think, is in order. Now that will, of course, consume consumer goods, so we have to keep an eye on that shortage. But that's okay. Well, we've got a campaign underway. So let's see. So this will be in a couple of months. Looks like Luke Pelletier, who's commanded the NSS Aldrin, is in the lead. And if he were to be our leader, we would get a pop growth bonus. Nice. Let's check our mandate. Ooh. Consumer goods production. Crap. Crap. I need to find some way to boost that, and soon. Otherwise, we're not going to fulfill that mandate. And I would really like to get that mandate. Is there a way to fulfill it, or do we just have to suck it up? One thing I could do... Hang on. You can add a new monthly trade. So I could bump my consumer goods income by 5 if I sacrificed. And you could set a max buy price, which is optional. But basically, if I just want to buy 2 per month. So it'll take however much energy that it costs to buy 2 consumer goods per month. And that might offset our shortage. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it actually counts towards the income, though. That's the interesting part of that. I think it does. Yeah, it does. All right, so that solves the problem. And it's not affecting our energy income too much. So you can really tweak, as long as you have energy to sacrifice, energy income to sacrifice, you can really tweak your income in any of these resources, for sure. Looks like the Rock are expanding pretty aggressively into this territory, which I don't mind. All right, so we've already got this starbase building. I want to try and get to these worlds here.
System survey concluded.
New ruler mandate. Luke Pelletier has been elected as chancellor. Excellent. As per our chancellor's mandate, our resource production has improved, and we gained some unity as a result. We are now a little bit closer to our next tradition, which will be in the diplomacy tree, for sure. So it looks like Luke Pelletier has taken over. What about his science-ship? Oh, nice. Sanvi has just jumped right in to the cockpit of the NSS Aldrin, and she is auto-exploring up in Rock territory. Did I see anything? Oh, man. I should have kept a closer eye. I would like to know what's going on with the military systems of these ships. See? This is eating up at my energy pretty regularly. It's been difficult to build up a supply. Yep, it's a deal. I want to have more energy on hand so that I can have solid liquidity. You know, one thing I could do to create solid liquidity, let's see. I always fumble around trying to find this. Relics is on F8. We've gotten 22 minor artifacts. I could sell 10 of these. And there's solid liquidity. So that's going to bring an additional influence per month, specifically from the Wealth Promotion Group, which is now, first of all, it's our largest faction, but it just makes them happier in general. Looks like we've finished the FTL inhibitor tech. Ooh, we have 2 very good options here rare tech-wise. We can improve our archaeology skill, archaeological skill, or we can improve our survey speed. We do have a need for higher archaeology skill right now, at least for this particular project. It's going to be 75 months before it finishes, but I think it's worth it. All right, so you're done here. I want you to keep going. I want to try and lock down both of these. These are alpine worlds, so we'd have to colonize them with rock pops, but that's okay. Yeah, we don't have any information on what kind of weaponry these guys use yet. And that'll come in handy as information. Now, let's go ahead and get some destroyers built too, because I've got a lot of alloys. First fleet. Right now I have 5 of each class. Now the Grenoble class was my artillery ship, right? I don't know that I want to build them yet. I think I'll stick with just the other 2 that I have. So the Manchester and the Manila. Interesting. Okay, I can't go beyond that command limit, so I'll just have 2 of each for now. Or maybe have 3. Yeah, let's have 3 of the Manila and 2 of the Manchester. Because the Manchester, again, is our picket defense. Point defense, if you want to. I don't know why I said picket defense. It's our point defense destroyer. All right, we have some uncollected trade value in Myton that I'm noticing. And we do have the ability now to build another station in Azar, which we are going to do just in case we need to. Now, Wither, what are you doing? Not a lot, obviously. Why have you not taken the Atos Nerea system yet? That's starting to bug me a little bit. It is. And somebody made a pretty good argument for why this should be the system that I take here as opposed to Korea. Because there's only one entrance point, and that makes me more comfortable, but strategically, if I hold this system, there's only one way into the rest of my territory from here, but there's 3 ways I could enter theirs. And that's a really good argument. So tell you what, we're going to go ahead and build the Atos Nerea station as well. I'm tempted to undo that consumer goods trade, but it's not affecting us too badly yet. So I will not worry about it. Okay, good. The Turek Station is being built.
The special project has concluded.
All right, the terraforming complex has been dismantled. We started that last episode. And we get the terrestrial sculpting technology outright. Cool. Our scientists have finished seeing to the safe dismantlement of the abandoned terraforming complex on Alaska. We still have no information on who built it, but the equipment is remarkably advanced. It should provide a welcome boost to our own research into terraforming methods.
Research concluded.
So we just straight up have the ability to terraform now, but we can't do it too brazenly at the moment because we want to maintain solid liquidity for influence purposes. And I don't have enough energy income to just start throwing away resources at terraforming planets just yet. We're going to be playing pretty tall regardless this playthrough, even with this new sector that we're trying to incorporate, and even if we get the Muric system as part of this trade. Oh, it looks like they're trying to get to Terek too. Sorry, guys. Beat you to the punch. So sorry. Let's see how much they hate us for that, because there's already a good amount of border friction. Yeah, last month it changed by +2 instead of +4, so the border friction is having an effect, for sure.
Construction completed.
All right, so we got that. They are not going to be happy with me for having done that. Oh no, last month it changed by +4, interestingly enough. So, not sure why that is that way, but I'm not going to complain about it. All right, we have some exotic gases and rare crystals here. I'm going to go ahead and take this system. I might also take Pandil just because it's a good buffer. Seems like we have some territory here to finish exploring. Guys, this is much closer to where we are needing to be, so why don't you come over here? Please and thanks. I appreciate that you're out here, but I need you to get it together. Tell you what, let's have you survey, then survey, then survey, then auto-explore. How about that? Okay, we have some decisions to make here. Terra Nova and Alaska. Currently a bureaucratic center. Looks like energy is starting to drop a little bit. Let's go ahead and build an energy district there. And we are going to have a mining district on Alaska because, again, we need to feed our rocks with, well, rocks. So rather than building a farming district first on Alaska, we're going to build a mining district. Because that makes the most sense.
The special project has concluded.
Okay, so this is the project over with the tree. And yeah, these guys didn't get pissed off at me, interestingly enough. After rigorous research, we now understand why the tree's sap summon those creatures. The tree is able to produce a highly nutritious substance which has machine-like abilities to repair organic tissue. The tree is a tree of life. If we harvested it, we could use it to expand the lifespan of our people, but there's one problem. The tree's healing power is limited in amount. We could only use it to improve a small group of people's life substantially, or increase everyone's situation by a small amount. Give it to the people, or give it to our leaders. Give it to the people, give it to our leaders. Give it to the people. This is a 5% happiness boost, which will help with productivity a little bit across the board. Now, what the heck is going on? Hang on, let's go ahead and get some destroyers built. We're only going to build a few at a time. Sol Station. But evidently, they don't care that we just investigated that. Can we just leave them alone, or eventually just kill them and not worry about it? I don't know. I've never really toyed with that possibility. Drought. Okay, so this is what can happen on Alaska when you dismantle the terraforming equipment. The unstable climate on Alaska has resulted in a severe drought that affects a significant portion of the planet. Colonists living in these regions have asked Earth for financial aid to improve living conditions. They will have to fend for themselves or give them what they ask for. We can give them what they ask for. We can afford it. Not a problem. All right, so our destroyers are being built. We've reversed course a little bit on the NASA Authority. Let's see how they feel about us. Their opinion of us is still improving a little bit month by month, so we may eventually federate with them after all. And we've got a pretty good setup with the Xeran concern. And as odd as this name is, even the lethal instrument Panaxala planets, even they are in a pretty good position to be our allies, given that they are also, what were they, Xenophile or egalitarian? Yeah, they're also Xenophile. They're fanatic Xenophile. So we've got some things lining up so far. We're about to go over our naval cap, briefly, but we'll do some things to offset that so that we don't have too much of a penalty. I will go ahead and stop this one here, though. In the next one, we are going to keep locking down this territory as rapidly as we can. Looks like we're going to get all of it. And then we will consider maybe colonizing these worlds, starting another district out here, and thinking more in terms of how we start our federation as we advance toward our next tradition, which will be arriving how soon? In a year. Literally a year from now, we'll get that. So like April 1st of 2243, we should have access to this new tradition, or possibly even March 1st, depending on how the game is calculating 12 months. Could actually be 12 months away, could be just less than 12 months. We'll see. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.